can make a bike feel a little bit sharper and snappier in the corners. And I do love that snap where you hit a corner, you can kind of hear the wheels zing out of it, but they can also be a little bit harsher, a little bit rougher in rough terrain where you get a bit more chatter through the wheels. Obviously, some wheels have more compliance built in and aren't super stiff. Others can just rattle your fillings out. Lately, I've been riding a lot of high quality alloy wheels. And honestly, I don't miss the expensive carbon stuff at all. If you go like for like on application or intended application on wheels, the weight difference between carbon and alloy is minimal. You're probably talking 200 grams max, which again isn't much. Yes, it's rotational, so you will feel that more on a wheel than you would somewhere on your frame, but it's still not a huge difference at the end of the day. The biggest benefit I can see to carbon wheels is they're going to stay true longer. You're not going to get as bent out of shape as an alloy wheel, and typically you do have better crash replacement or warranty policies on a carbon wheel than you do an alloy wheel. My takeaway on wheels: pick wheels for the feel and the durability and not necessarily weight savings. And don't expect a carbon wheel to make you magically faster up or downhill. All right, number 5, touch points. So saddle, grips, pedals, and we're gonna throw the dropper post in this one too. Touch points are some of the only components I actually care about. I'm riding different bikes every time I ride a bike, so I am not really married to any one product or component, except my touch points. I want those to be comfortable and to work and to fit my body. The reason I care is because bad touch points can ruin a ride pretty damn fast. Sore ass, blistered hands, pedals that don't grip your shoes or don't work with your cleats or how your ankle can move, like that sucks. So this category is very personal. There's not one product that works for every single person because we all have different shapes and sizes and everything. So find some grips, find a saddle, and find pedals that work for you, and then just put them on every bike. In my mind, comfort equals performance because you're going to be more comfortable, you're going to be on your bike longer, or you're just going to feel better and more confident in how you're connected to your bicycle. And then the dropper part. Let's not forget droppers. These are super important. This is going to vary for every person. I like to run a 210 or 240 if I can fit it. Try to run the longest travel dropper you can for your frame. The weight, again, does not matter. It's
What's up?
the drop that's going to matter.
Cinnamon Wolf,
be a lot
Cinnamon
better
Roll.
and more comfortable on the bike because you can get that saddle out of the way and then all the way back up to your pedaling height.
Son of a bitch. What's up, everybody? Like the stream? Set your mind, Dick. What's up, cinnamon roll?
How about them Cowboys? Specs, the fun starts here.
Luton, the town is majority non-white, 32% Muslim, 38% foreign-born, and speaks an estimated 150 languages. What does a super diverse future for Great Britain look like?
What's up, folks? Well, I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like the loss of your culture, your religion, your race, your language, your values, and your country. That's what it looks like. And the reason why I'm talking about this video, even though it pertains to Britain, it is very pertinent because this is exactly what's going to happen and is happening to the United States. So I was in Europe this summer. I had to go to Bali for like a collaboration thing. I was supposed to go to Australia, but I was banned from Australia because of my naughty views that I have, apparently. And then I ended up just diverting. We went over to Europe. And I expected from all the stories that I've heard that it would be super diverse, that it would feel like I was in Mongolia or something. Mongolia. Someplace in Africa or the Somalia or the Sudan or something. Where I was, believe it or not, there are more migrants in America than there are there. Now, granted, I did not go to the UK. I did not go to Switzerland. I didn't go to the Italy or any of the hot spots that have been really taken over. I was in Switzerland. Greece is really bad. A lot of immigrants there. And I was in Portugal as well. In Portugal, a lot of Indians there. A lot of them. But anyway, I was shocked to find that despite the fact that Europe is overrun with these people, when I came back to the States, comparing and contrasting, I see more non-whites in the United States. We are overrun with these people. So what's happening in the UK is happening in the United States. So this is just a looking glass into not only our future, but our present. So let's take a listen to some of the fine folks that are now taking over the UK.
Where are you from?
I'm from India. I'm Kurdish original.
Does everyone get along? If you want to move out of here one day, what's the biggest reason? Immigration. What do the actual English natives think?
No, I'm not sure.
You guys feel like you can't really speak out on that sort of thing? We're over it.
These people out there, they're nice, man. Once you know them, they treat you like fam. You know what I mean? There is halal food everywhere. There's a lot of Muslim community there. As a Muslim, I am happy to live in this.
Does everyone get along?
Yeah, sometimes not, but yeah, everybody gets on both of them. Yeah, they have a lot of structures there, and they show some really good food.
You like your halal?
Yeah, I love it.
You guys consider yourself British?
We okay with this country. We've been here. We need to support this country.
You came to Luton to live with more Muslims?
Not for the Muslim, but I like the desi food.
What does it mean to be a Brit?
First, we are humans. That's it.
So humans and then nationality?
That's it.
I'm Pakistani. I'm British because I'm born here. I just see a lot of uneducated people are just leaving stuff in it.
Really and truly, we used to be cool. So 1 and 2.
How long have you been here in Luton? 4 years. Oh my goodness. Why is it better here? Is that right?
We're all human. Borders, countries, that doesn't mean anything. We're just all human. I wonder maybe if that's why these kind of people want to push theories like the melting pot. For example, a term that was coined by a playwright as a way of subverting the minds of Americans and white people in white countries into thinking that actually you don't deserve to live in an all-white country because it was never an all-white country. It was formed on immigrants. Oh, yeah, that's right. White immigrants. By the way, why are we not getting more white immigrants? Why are the only immigrants that they see fit to come and steal Americans' jobs? Why are they always from like India? Why is it never that we're getting Belgian people, French people, real British people, and not the ones that are LARPing as British? Why do we never get them? Why does the government, when they're like, okay, we're going to replace the American workforce so that when you go into thousands of dollars in debt for your degree, you will be able to find a job because it will be taken by a foreigner? Why do they always see fit that the foreigners that take your job ought not to be a white foreigner, but ought to be a brown foreigner from another country, arguably a worse country than ours? Does it make sense that we should bring in workers from third world countries to work jobs in first world countries? Or would it make more sense that if you truly are just wanting to find the best and the brightest, that you would find people that live in first world countries like Europe, where the technology is insane? By the way, if you're going to buy a kitchen appliance, buy Swiss made. It's incredible because it's white brilliance over there. Driving through Switzerland, you see the farms and they are immaculately done. They are not being, the jobs of farmers over in Switzerland, it is white artisans who are doing that. The apples are all growing up little sticks and they are perfect. It was the most nice, neat orchards, vineyards, and farms I've ever seen in my life. It was insanely advanced, and that's called a first world white country. Hopefully it will remain that way. But just talking to the locals that were over there, they were like, these people come in, they come in and sit on our front porch, and we're just like, what? Everybody, by the way, over there hates them, okay? Everyone over there cannot stand it. They're so over it. They're even more over it than we are here in America. So why do we not get those European people who make beautiful things and have a gorgeous, insanely beautiful, inspirational culture? Why don't we bring them over? If you're truly just looking for the best and brightest, why is it always brown people from India? You know, if somebody's going to take my job, I would feel less bad about it if it was some handsome, tall, well-educated, speaks 5 languages European, as opposed to an Indian who doesn't even bother learning English. Have you ever been on the line with a customer service agent from India? Is that quality service that you're receiving? Certainly not.
We weren't obviously prepared for that. It went from a Hurricane 1 to Hurricane 5 within 24 hours. For the Hurricane Michael, nobody was prepared. I'm required to be here for work during a storm to be activated. I have to be there so many hours before it actually hits and then stay there until it's completed, basically.
Okay, in fact, the most ardent leftist would become the most avid racist if they just have one phone call with a Indian customer service agent. That's all it takes. So I encourage you all, if you have leftist family members, put them on the line with a non-white third worldist who is supposed to be talking you through your first world problems and your tech issues, okay? But this is what's happening. And by the way, with the H-1B visa, yeah, we were a little quick to celebrate that. You know how Trump a minute ago was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a $100,000 annual fee for each H-1B recipient. Well, within a couple days, they walked that back. They just blatantly lied and were like, no, we never said that. It's like gaslighting 101. No, we never said that. It's a one-time $100,000 fee for H-1B visas, and it will not apply to any of the thousands of H-1BV. Wow. Okay, I can't think. You know what I'm talking about. It will not apply to the current H-1B holders now. Yeah. So just the new ones that they plan on bringing in. You know, $100,000 to mega corporations is nothing. It's nothing. And if you have this immigrant here for a 5-year contract and then they can apply for citizenship after that, that all evens out, because the cheap labor you were able to squeeze out of that person will all even out, and that 100,000, nothing. So there's the priority to the American worker as we go into debt to try to go to college.
Horror games are scary, but play them with the lights off, that's when nightmare mode begins. If you're brave enough, this is the top 20 horror games must play with lights off. The Devil in Me is one of those horror games that feels perfect for playing with the lights off. You're trapped inside a replica of H.H. Holmes's murder hotel, where walls shift, doors lock behind you, and creepy animatronics wait in the shadows. What starts as a harmless documentary shoot quickly becomes a twisted game of survival. You control 5 different crew members, each with tools like cameras, lockpicks,
What's up, everybody?
But
I'm
nothing
back.
comes easy.
I was
Every
taking a
choice,
piss.
every QTE,
Sorry, guys.
even a single mistake can kill a character for good. That constant tension makes every hallway feel like the last safe step you'll take. Sure, some animations look a little stiff and certain parts move slowly, but when you're playing in the dark with headphones, those flaws vanish. The Devil in Me turns silence, creaking floors, and sudden scares into an experience that's built for lights-off horror.
Are you serious? No one is going to believe it without proof. What the? Baby trap.
Son of a bitch.
Don't waste my time.
Got you, bitch. Motherfucker. Suck my... Sorry. Hey, PG-13, okay? No kids. No kids here.
If your reasons no, it's probably because we're all dead. What's in this house surpassed anything I had imagined.
The Dark Occult is a horror game built to unsettle you. You arrive at the Atkinson house to investigate strange activity tied to the owner's death, but soon realize you're trapped inside. The mansion shifts, you can't leave, and a demonic woman begins stalking your every move. Exploration is your only tool. You wander through dark rooms, search for occult artifacts, and destroy them to weaken the haunting force. The danger is real. Grotesque creatures appear without warning, and the woman can strike from anywhere. You have to stay alert with every step, turn, or sound. Play this in darkness with headphones, and the Dark Occult turns into a haunting ride. It's not about cheap scares. It's about making you never feel safe. Resident Evil 2 Remake is pure nightmare when you play with the lights off. You step into the Raccoon City Police Department. As Leon or Claire, you're not just fighting zombies. You're fighting the silence, the dark, and the constant dread of what's around the corner. Survival is all about choices. Bullets are limited, herbs run out fast, and zombies don't stay down. Just when you think you can breathe, Mr. X shows up. His heavy footsteps chase you through narrow halls, reminding you there's no real safety here. One mistake, and it's over. The atmosphere sells it. Flickering lights, grotesque enemies, and sound design that keeps you on edge. A puzzle or two may slow things down, but once you're sitting in darkness with headphones on, it doesn't matter. Resident Evil 2 Remake turns every hallway into a lights-off horror experience you won't forget.
Dr. Bergen, you come along with us quietly. I'm not handing over anything!
You don't get away that easy.
Son of a... I saved the president's daughter.
What you're up against. I have a pretty damn good idea.
Go now!
Trust me.
Oxide Room 104 is one of those games that's just terrifying. From the very first moment, Matt wakes up naked and bleeding in a filthy motel bathtub with no memory of how he got there. The Night Soul Motel is rotten, silent, and every single room hides something worse than the last. Twisted creatures prowl the shadows, puzzles lure you into traps, and death never ends it. It just drags you back to that same bathtub, while the motel twists into something darker every time. Play this with the lights off, and the fear bleeds into your room.
Hey, who wants to play,
the screen is the only light. Shadows creep at
King
the
of
corners
Fighters. You
of
guys
your
want to play a
vision,
fighting
and
game?
every little sound feels like it's right behind you. By the time the nightmare closes in, Oxide Room 104 doesn't just scare you. It makes you wish you never turned out the lights.
Get to work. As in any research, if you repeat the same test without changing the variables, you'll most likely get the same results. So, let's make some modifications. Don't worry. You won't.
the Deep is the kind of horror that only works when you play with the lights off. Set on a North Sea oil rig in 1975, you play as Kaz McCleary, an electrician trapped after the structure begins to collapse. Storms rage outside, communications are dead, and something unnatural is crawling through the rig. There are no guns or easy escapes here. You're sneaking through flooded corridors, hiding from creatures you barely glimpse, and solving problems just to stay alive. The rig itself twists as the disaster worsens. Metal bends, hallways flood, and safe routes vanish in seconds. Some parts are slower, and the linear design limits how much you can explore. But in the dark, with headphones on, the creaking steel, howling wind, and unseen footsteps become unbearable. Still Wakes the Deep turns isolation into its deadliest weapon, making it a must-play in total darkness.
Hello? Do you like your new Revive adjustable base? Oh, that's actually crazy. It actually kicked. I don't snore. Do I snore?
Hello and welcome to Just Right Bikes. I'm David and today I have a comparison of two 360 cameras for you. The brand new Insta360 X5 and a DJI Osmo 360.
The Dreamcast is one of the best consoles for light gun games. The same game you would play at the arcade, you could experience at home. Virtua Cop 2, House of the Dead 2, and I just recently added Confidential Mission. I feel like this is an underrated game. I never hear it get talked about. Most retro arcades you go to will have a House of the Dead, maybe a Virtua Cop, but I never see this. The Dreamcast is one of the best consoles for light gun games. The same game.
And the whole eulogy, I didn't hear anything about Charlie. I forgive him. We had a great marriage. But who was he? If it was my brother who died, to be honest, I would be pissed. I really would be. If it was, I just kind of think, because Charlie Kirk, he kind of reminds me of my brother a little bit. And I'm very close with this brother. And if somebody, like, I think if my brother died, even if it was a cause he believed in and they were just milking his death light, I think it would make me sick to my stomach. I really wonder how the immediate family feels about this. I don't know. So I would have some recommendations of what I would have said to do. Now, this is just my opinion. You can take it or leave it. I would say I would have recommended she leaves the public eye for a minimum of 1 to 2 weeks and up to 3 to 6 months at least. And the reason being, you know, I was looking up how long they ask YouTubers to stay out of the public eye after a scandal. And that's a scandal, right? That's not a death. They say to leave the public eye for a minimum 2 weeks, up to 6 months. But the problem is women are so phone addicted now and so clout and attention addicted. We do not know how to have almost normal human interactions. We are so addicted to our phones that, I mean, we're using death for clout at this point. It's bad. Yeah, I know what they're saying. Christians, they see it differently than you. I think a lot of Christians see it like this. I really do. I think there's a lot of Christians that find it disrespectful to do a funeral in a stadium. In that, it wasn't even actually the stadium, to be honest. I think it was more just the manner they did it in. Like the fireworks going off. There's just a lack of
I'll show you guys JFK's funeral and you'll see. All right, now, we listened to Erica Kirk's reaction last show. You know what, maybe we'll pull up. So, this.
More work than we even could ever. So blessed to have more work than we even could ever dream of. I mean, it's beautiful, and Turning Point Action, full steam ahead. So powerful. So blessed to have.
Okay, so yeah. So we're gonna now. We watched, if you go like 2 or 3 screens ago, we reacted to Erica's whole speech. And I said what I noticed was that she kind of it barely talked about Charlie. But I'll hear these women talk about Tupac, and I'll think, how does the rapper, criminal that died at a shootout, get more respect, a more respectful, I guess, more respectful dialogue around his death and remembrance than the Christian conservative family guy? It's like, as women, we can't be mad when these guys start treating us like shit, because we reward terrible behaviors. We really do.
A lot of people, talk about my relationship with Pac and trying to figure that out, That was a huge loss in my life.
That looks like a sad woman. She's tearing up.
Yeah.
And this is like 20 years later. I mean, that's, again, when women marry or, I guess, lose men that we perceive to be alpha, it just tends to be a completely different reaction.
Because he was one of those people that I expected to be here. Now, my upset is more anger. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel that he left me. And I know that's not true. And it's a very selfish way to think about it, but I really did believe that he was going to be here for the long run.
She is crazy, people. We got another one.
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their teeth in a day process. A lot of times what they mean is they'll do the surgery and give you some sort of teeth the next day, but those teeth are not permanent teeth. They're
I remember you telling me a while back that you had a Tupac story that you always wanted to share. And you had 2 interactions with him, right? Tell me about that.
I was in Tupac's company twice. Do you see the, like, genuine choking up these women? These women weren't even with him. They had no kids with him. But they're all getting choked up talking about him.
And I mean, we were in the same places, but not running in the same circles. So, I mean, I'd be at the same events, be at the same place, but we took a flight together once. And it was weird because I was in first class and he was in coach. And when I sat down and I saw him, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna talk to Pac all the way to Atlanta. And when he kept walking, I was like, who the fuck put Pac in East County? I couldn't talk to him.
Now, I hear what you guys are saying. This stuff's performative, okay? Probably to some extent. But these interviews feel more genuine than the speech Erica Kirk gave. All I'm showing is the compare and contrast. There seems to be more emotion there.
I fly first class all the time. I won't be that pretentious. But this one particular time, and after I had looked up, got first class and Tupac. So the 2 interactions I had with him, he was completely different on both interactions. And the extreme, like the first time I met him, I didn't know what was happening to me. I was so charmed. I was entranced. I was enspelled. I was, and if he had had a wife and we was in the right moment, I'd have been like, well, we grown. I hope your wife feels like me and it's not a kid, but I'm not having sex with me and attention, but,
She's like wishing she banged him 50 years later. I mean, I want you guys to see this because when women are very in love with men, I mean, this is kind of how they got another one.
Poetic Justice. Some insight on what it was like, working with Tupac on Poetic Justice.
Pac was crazy, and I adored him. He was one way, I think, the way people saw him, and not just him.
So, again, the stories focus on who he was as a person. Not what he did, but who he was.
That wasn't him, but he was also had another side to him where he was fun and silly. I think he's really special. He was very special, incredibly talented, and there's just so much talent, so brilliant.
Do you see all of the attention in that story was on him? Not me, him. And when you compare and contrast, I mean, it's just, there you go. I just don't get any emotion from this.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man, on the cross, our Savior said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, I forgive him.
Like, if I'm being honest here, I just don't, there's no tears. And I'm looking.
This is the Omen, a classic slip-on shop boot loaded with modern comfort and performance features. So let me walk you through it. We'll start on the outside and work our way in. As you'll see here, we got that grippy rubber outsole. This thing is EH rated, slip and oil resistant.
And the whole eulogy, I didn't hear anything about Charlie.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to be right back maybe in a little bit, maybe an hour or so. Thank you so much.
What did he do for you?